announcements, but then after that, the microphone is yours, okay? All right, we'll just give you announcements to get ready. So I'm going to call it the president now. We can just sort of step off to the side, okay? All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Wonderful. I'm Rabbi Dime, and it is my pleasure to invite up our president, Glenn Ullman, to give us some announcements. Oh, is it not? Oh, right. Hopefully we'll get it.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to our first-timers. I think you've been greeted, but we love that you're here. And for our regular timers, we love that you're here. Assistant Rabbi, lovely welcoming you here. So yes, I am Glenn Ullman. I am president of the Board of Trustees at Bethel. So welcome to this beginning of the Sabbath and welcoming the Sabbath bride and rest. It says, if you're new or visiting, please introduce yourself to me or Rabbi Dime, which I think we already have, but we can reintroduce for the Oneg, and we're delighted to celebrate with you. April 24th, which is, I think, next Friday, we're having a community dinner with student-led Shabbat. All are welcome. There's more information in our Shabbat pamphlet, which our office manager was sick today, so we don't have them in print, but you can get them on email. And if you're new and you haven't gotten our emails, please let us know. And for those of you, some of you were here, but we had a great meeting, a special community meeting on Wednesday, seems like a year ago, and 90% of those assembled approved our new building. So the trailer that you see out front will disappear in about 5 months, and it will be replaced on this side by a steel, beautiful building that will match this building for our children, for the education center. And we are also going to expand and beautify our social hall, all because we're growing, and we need to make sure that we continue to grow and serve our members. So I could keep talking for a long time, but I'm going to turn it back to Rabbi Don.
It's all good things. Thanks, Glenn.
For inviting me up.
Of course. And thank you, Glenn, for the announcements, and thank you for pointing out our assistant rabbi here, Henley Young. Welcome to the Bima. It is great that you are here as well. Always good to be co-leading services with talented young people. So welcome to the Bima. Let us turn now in our prayer books to page 128. 128. Oh, right. Let's join together on the top of the page with, is that better? It's not. How about this? It's not, it's, Joy's gonna check the volume. Let me try another mic and see if that's better. Okay. Is this one working better? Or is this still also quiet? Okay. Hold on. Yeah, that's better? All right. I wonder if it's the volume, but we'll wait until Joy comes back and just ask her briefly. Okay. All right, hold on one more sec. There's another mic to try. If I put this one down here, is this coming through? It's not coming through. Okay. All right. Yeah, well, we'll share the microphone back and forth. That's probably the best bet. So, let us turn to page 128, 128 for Hine Ma Tov. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Yeah. It's really not. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put there, and I'm just going to kind of hold this one because we want to have us both. All right. So, yes, that hopefully is close enough now where we'll be able to hear it. All right. So now for the candles in the Kiddush, I'd like to invite up Lisa Landworth-Ullman to be lighting the candles in the Kiddush in honor of the yard site of her father, Henry Landworth. On page 120, 120. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And now we turn to page 123, 123 for the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh Zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta Mikol hamim V'shabbat kodshecha V'ahava uvratzon Hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And now we turn in our prayer books to page 138, 138 for L'Chadodi. We're going to be on verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. That's 1, 2, 5, and 9. And then when we get to verse 9, I'll invite you to rise in body or spirit as we turn to the doors and welcome the Shabbat bride to join us for this Shabbat. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi makor habaracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof maseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Kiva orech kumi ori, Uri, shir daberi, Kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ater bala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Now we turn to page 146. 146. For the Baruch Hu, and I invite you to remain standing in body or spirit for our call to worship. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Is that coming through loud enough on the... Awesome. Okay. Good stuff. Great. Thank you. Okay. Let us turn to page 148. 148. Please join with Miss Henley in the English.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being. skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Titzva'ot is your name. Ever-living God, you may reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. And now we turn to page 150, 150. Please join together in the English.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah by mitzvot, laws and precepts.
Yeah.
But therefore, teaching our God when we lie down and when we rise up. You will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Now we turn to page 152, 152. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Mahuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Mahuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. We turn to page 154, 154, for the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta Adonai
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet. And now we turn to page 159, 159.
Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
And now we look back to page 158, 158, for our people's Song of Redemption. Now, I know that we just had Passover, but I'm counting on all of you to bring some Pesach energy to this Michamocha. Please join with us.
Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nehar b'kodesh, Norah tehilot osefele, Norah tehilot osefele. Malachut nechara u'banecha, Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We turn to page 160, 160. Let us join together in the English for this prayer before we get to the Hebrew. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all Israel, and over in Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And now let us turn to page 162, 162 for V'shamru. V'shamru v'mei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, l'asau et ha-Shabbat, l'enduring temperit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, l'asau et ha-Shabbat, l'enduring temperit olam.
Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, l'asau et ha-Shabbat, l'enduring temperit olam.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat. Lasso et HaShabbat Nidorin Tamperi Tawam.
Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru.
V'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat. Lasso et HaShabbat Nidorin Tamperi Tawam.
Right. One sec. We continue with our service on page 164, 164, and we're going to be on the even-numbered pages through 170. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the tefillah portion of our service. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umito Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yihallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We turn to page 175, 175. Please join with us in the English. At the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And now we turn to page 177, 177. Please join us at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'cha na'eh lehodot. And now, I'd like us to take a moment to share with each other some simchas, some good things that are going on in our lives. So I'm going to bring the microphone down to you, and anyone who wants to share something that's a joy or a celebration that they'd like to bring to the community, please raise your hand, and I'd like to offer you the microphone. This is remembering joys that we have to share. It's important that we give ourselves that moment.
Our daughter's having another baby girl. June 29th is due date. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
My oldest grandson is engaged, and hopefully the marriage should be sometime next year when they find a place.
Great. Thank you, Ron. Thanks. Anyone else have anything they'd like to share?
I had a lot of good things happen this week, but yesterday my friend and I, we went to go see my horse and do community service work at my barn, and that was a lot of fun. And I did really good on all my tests this week, and I get my cast off in a couple days.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you.
Many of you don't know that my son has been in Georgia for too long, and it's always been too far for both of us to have to drive back and forth, so sometimes we would meet just in the middle for lunch. Now he's in Florida, only a couple hours away, and it's a big pleasure, and he's enjoying old friends and his music with other people.
That's great. Thank you. Anyone else? It's back. Well, thank you all for sharing. It is great to be able to share joys with each other. It's good to remember that there are good things in our community that we can enjoy together and be glad for each other. And even with all these things that we are grateful for, all these wonderful things in our lives, we are still praying for peace. So we turn to page 178, 178 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamvarech et Amo Yisrael B'Shalom. And now that we have prayed for peace, our thoughts turn to those who are in need of healing, whether it's healing of mind or of body or of spirit. The congregation is thinking for healing of Pearl Levin, Carol Wallace, Carol Solomon, June Van, Rabbi Michael Matchison, Sherry Chait, Larry Michalov, Fran Marcus, Paige Hedrick, Kathy Weiner, Rob Moreland, Sadie Charlotte Schwartz, Arthur Iglico, Carolyn Boyles, Ken Friedman, Dawn D'Amelia, Randy Pakula, Ronald Lieberman, Stuart Rosenthal, David Adler, Melvin Cohen, Melanie Nasberg, Mary Ann Brown, Elise Rubin, Margaret Larson, Pepe Perez, Marvin Weisblatt, Bonnie Yales Gibson, Mickey Felmet, Joanne Lifshitz, all Israeli soldiers injured in the war, and all civilians injured in any war. If there's anyone here that has a name of someone that you are praying for healing, I invite you to share their name as my eyes meet yours. And if you'd like to stand up in advance of the Misha Berach, we'll join you in standing shortly. We hold all of their names together, and we turn to page 371 as we rise in body or spirit for the Misha Berach. Henley, you want to open the ark? Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May those who will not be healed on this earth be blessed with nights free from suffering and days filled with peace. May God grant strength and comfort to those who care for the sick. May God help us to find hope and courage as we face fear and loss. May all who are ill be surrounded by the love of friends, loving companions, family, and community. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now I invite you to take a few moments for a silent meditation. And we'll come out of that meditation on page 180 at the bottom with Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom. Uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imru amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Well, Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Now the mic's back on. There we go. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gotten that call? The call that makes your stomach drop. A diagnosis, a piece of news, something about someone you love. And in that instant, before anything else, a question rises to the surface. Why? Why this? Why now? Why them? Last week, we discussed one of life's hardest questions. Why do tragedies happen? And why do they happen to people too young? And this week, the Torah brings us back into that same space, but from a different angle. Why do people get sick? Why this illness? Why this person? Why now? And once again, the answer is the same. We don't know. And for many of us, that's not an abstraction. That's real. That's lived experience. We've lived it. We've felt it. We've stood in that moment where the ground shifts beneath us. Sometimes the story bends towards healing, and there are moments of relief, of recovery, and gratitude. And sometimes it doesn't go that way. And we ask, why? This week's Parsha, Tazria Metzora, it's a double portion, speaks about illness, a specific illness called Sara'at. At first glance, this discussion and the treatment is harsh, difficult. A person with Sara'at is sent outside the camp, separated and alone. But if we take a closer look at the portion, we see that the Torah isn't only describing the disease, it also asks a deeper question. What happens to a person who's isolated from the center of our community? Because that person's deep pain isn't only the illness, it's that separation. It's that loneliness, that feeling of being on the outside. And there's a truth that we all know. At some point, every one of us, or someone that we love, will face illness. Sometimes mild, sometimes serious, sometimes life-altering. And in those moments, we ask, why? And again, we don't get an answer. But the Torah gives us something else. The Torah gives us a response. Because even when someone was sent out of the camp in this Torah portion, they were never forgotten. A priest would go out to them outside the camp, see them, care for them. Which means for us too, when someone feels isolated or outside, we are not allowed to leave them alone. That is who we are called to be. Not people who always understand or know the reasons why, but people who show up. And we know how to do that. We've seen it. in quiet ways, in sacred ways. A call, a visit, a meal delivered. A message that says, I'm thinking of you. This is the Torah, not studied, but lived. And still, many of us hesitate. When someone is sick, we wonder, what do I do? What can I say? We're not doctors. We can't fix it. We can't cure it. And that can make us feel powerless. But our tradition reminds us, even when we cannot cure, we can care. And that caring matters more than we realize, because presence is not small. It is everything. A hand to hold, a voice on the phone, someone sitting beside you in the uncertainty. That presence is a mitzvah. But there are two sides to this mitzvah. It's not just showing up for others, it's allowing others to show up for us. And that may be even more difficult, because many of us were taught that we have to be strong. We have to handle it ourselves, whatever it is. Our tradition teaches us something deeper about this, though. Sometimes strength sounds like this: I'm not okay. I need help. Not because we are weak, but because we are human. We are finite beings. We know this. We don't have all the answers. We don't control what happens to us or to the people that we love. Even the best doctors cannot always save a life. But even when we don't have all the answers, we do have each other. And that changes everything. So what does that look like this week? What does having each other look like? It can be simple. It can be reaching out to a person, just one, who might be struggling. Don't overthink it. Just a simple, I'm thinking of you, left in a message can be enough. Offer something concrete. Let me know if you need anything is not the same as, hey, I'm going to bring over dinner on Tuesday. Or I'm coming by to sit with you for an hour. And if you're the one struggling, let that person in, the person who calls. Or let people know that you need help. Because strength in Judaism is not standing apart. It's standing together in health, and especially in illness. We may not understand the why, but we can decide how to respond and when to respond by showing up again and again and again. By doing that, we transform isolation into connection, fear into courage, and the suffering into something that is held, that is shared, and that is softened. We make sure that no one is left outside the camp. And maybe that is the deepest truth of all. We don't always get the answers, but we can face the questions together. Shabbat Shalom. We turn in our books to page 678, 678. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for Hatikvah. Israel's national anthem, page 678. Here, Henley, if you want to hold the flag, I'll hold the book for you. This one, I got this one. Kol od balevav pnima. It's okay. Nesh Yehudi Omiyah Ulfate Mizrach Kadima Ayin Letzion Sophia. Od lo avda tikvatenu. Hatikva bat shnot alpaim. Liotam chofshi be'artzenu. Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Liotam chofshi be'artzenu. Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. You can light the flag. I invite you to remain standing in body or spirit as we turn to page 586 for the Aleinu. On the bottom of 586. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kuyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 588. Shehu notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz umoshav yikaro bashamayim mima'al ushchinatu zo Begove meromim, hu Eloheinu enod, emet malkeinu efes zulato, kakatuv betorato, ve'adatayom ve'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hua Elohim, Bashamayim mima'al, ve'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od. 591. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'aretz. Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. Would you pull the ark close? Thank you. You may be seated. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we have loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember. The congregation is remembering those that we have lost within the last year. Abe Sleminski, Robert William Forsyth, Phyllis Atkins, Jackie Gould, Coco Radovich, Sue-Ann Blumenthal, Eugene Belkin, Carol Friedman, Martin Horowitz, Grace Belkin, Howard Silvers, Jeanette Greenwald, Lee Schwartz, Ronald Harris Lieberman, and Maxine Safer Goldberg. And we're remembering those that we've lost at this time in years past: Dorothy Firsty, Henry Landworth, Harry Rosenman, and Nellie Schwartz. If there's anyone here that has someone whose name you would like to share with the community that you have lost, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. Yeah.
Peggy Trumbull.
We hold all their names together as a community. I invite you to turn to page 598, 598, and to rise in body or spirit for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei kudasha b'richu. Le'ela min ko birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high bring comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. Let us look to that last paragraph and join together in Osei Shalom as a closing song. And then, if you'll remain standing in body or spirit, we'll turn to page 603 afterwards for the priestly benediction. Osei Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. We turn to page 603, 603. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom, shalom.
May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.